the nicest guy I know. Please welcome to the stage a very funny Rich Baker.
I just hit myself in the face. Comedy gold right there. For those of you that aren't my relatives. Two of you. My name is Rich Baker, and neither of those words describe me. I don't make a lot of money as a comedian, and I don't bake. I don't even cook. I let my roommates do all the cooking. I have two roommates, Mom and Dad. That was actually the first joke I ever wrote. It's not true anymore. I live with two dudes now. And it's not an upgrade, because the two guys I live with, they're fine, but when I live with my parents, they pay the bills. Can't get my roommates to do that. I'm like, come on. And then when I lived with my parents, I only had to put up with one obnoxious snoring person. So I don't think it's an upgrade. I don't cook. You know those tests that you take when you're in high school that say, like, it's a personality test, and it's like, these are the jobs you'd be really good for, and this is a whole list, and the further down you go is, like, according to the test, you're less apt to be good at that job. If I were taking those tests, the last job on the list would be cooking show host. I'm terrible. Like, I don't cook. I know all my delivery men on a first name basis. We're friends. Like, what's up, Fernando? It's like, oh, how's it going? How are the kids? Oh, good. All right, cool. And he's like, I'll see you tomorrow. I go, no, I'll see you tonight when I order dinner. I don't go from noon to noon without eating. I thought if I was a cooking show host, that would be the lamest. No one would ever see that. So it'd be like, welcome to Cooking with Rich. All right, today's episode, we're going to show you how to cook a frozen sausage pizza. And tomorrow's episode, I'm going to show you how to cook a frozen pepperoni pizza. And Friday's show, oh, buckle your hats. Buckle your belts. Hang on to your hat. Buckle your hats! Apparently you're a Puritan. So much for my cooking show. Friday's show will show you how to tackle the elusive Campbell's soup can. The trick is adding water. I learned that the hard way. Actually, the trick is finding yourself. Self-respect, but that's... I have a good friend who, I feel like a lot of my friends cook, which is interesting, because I'm like, why would you waste all that time? But a friend of mine, she's so into cooking that she even said, when I go out to eat, I will not order something off the menu if I can make it at home myself. I was like, wow, I guess I also have that philosophy. I didn't really put words to it before. It's got to be a pretty shady place for me to invoke that rule. If I'm looking at the menu and I'm like, oh, I can't order that. Captain Crunch peanut butter straight out of the box. I can do that on my own, thank you. But if they did have that, I would hope that they would at least provide a couch and let me take off my pants. I'm eating out. I used to, because I eat out a lot, I don't always eat healthy, and I probably should. I used to eat terrible. I was like king of the drive-thru. I drive-thru everywhere. And one time I went to a Burger King drive-thru, and I knew it was going to be a bad experience, because as soon as I pulled up, the lady's talking to the squawk box, and she goes, "For here to go." All right. I know how to talk to this person. Slowly. My roommate's in the car, we order 2 Whoppers. One with mustard for me, one with mayonnaise for him. I thought that was pretty easy. And we get to she gives me a bag with 2 burgers in it. We're good so far. First one has on the wrapper, it has an M written on it to differentiate between mayonnaise and mustard. Maybe I just don't know their system. So we unwrap, it's got mayonnaise on it, I hand it to him, and I'm like, I'm curious, what if mayonnaise gets an M, what does mustard get? So I open it up, and there's no writing on it, so I guess, oh, okay, mustard must be the standard or whatever, I don't know. So I pull the bun out, and it's got mayonnaise on it! And I'm like, what is your system? Can't you figure this out? And then I'm like, hang on, Rich, you're getting mad at a Burger King employee. Let's not waste energy here. It's like getting mad at your dog for not shutting the back door behind him. There's some things you just shouldn't expect in life. Like, and I get it, they make minimum wage, and you shouldn't expect high quality service. If I worked there, I'd be bored to tears. I'd write little cryptic messages on the burgers like, I'll see you tonight. You smell great. You're not entering some Broadway show, you know, it's Burger King. You're getting what you pay for. You don't expect to walk in and all of a sudden there's dancers and Joel Grey from cabarets like, welcome to Burger King, you're in for a treat. We've got 2 buns and a flame broiled meat. That's unlikely. Trying to eat healthier now, and I'm trying to be vegan. And that is tough. Vegans don't eat meat or any animal products, in case you don't know. And I won't go 100% vegan, and the reason is as such. Because of the pending zombie apocalypse. Apparently I have to connect some dots for you, fine, okay. No, but here's the thing, is scientifically speaking, your body produces these enzymes, and that's what helps you eat meat and digest it and whatever. But if you go without eating meat for a certain amount of time, then you stop making these enzymes, and all of a sudden, you can't eat meat. Your body doesn't know what to do with it. So, if I got to that point, and the zombie apocalypse happens, and it will, then imagine that scenario. You've seen the movies. I'm running for my life. There's a horde of zombies behind me. I'm like, eh. And I see the abandoned grocery store. I'm like, oh, I'm going to grab something and I'm going to run. I'm going to eat it. So when I find safety, I'm running. And then all of a sudden, now if I'm vegan, I got to stop and look like, okay, that's got meat in it. Okay, no, and it's fried with animal fat. Darn it. Oh, here it's fat. And then I died because I was vegan. But I thought about that because, you know, once a zombie bites you, you become a zombie. And you're just you in zombie version. So if I was a vegan and a zombie bit me, would I then become a mindless member of the undead with an insatiable hunger for grains? I need to wait for that to go around the room. Better laugh at that. The original line was craisins. It didn't hit as well. Is it just me or hot women ruining the world? Yeah, I didn't think I was alone on that one. And I'll tell you why. Because I am not good with women. And it doesn't, like any avenue of life, it doesn't matter like in what context. I'm not good with women. Like if there's a woman around and I'm like, I get sweaty and my palms and I get nervous and start shuffling, and that's just my mom's book club. I mean, imagine when they're young. It's not a pretty sight. And this affects my daily life. Because, so here's the story. Last year, I go to a dermatologist, and I'd never been to this dermatologist before, and I had something weird, like gross looking thing on my back or whatever, and I don't know what this dermatologist looks like. You don't shop for doctors by picture, which, that'd be a terrible healthcare system. Well, I'm dying, but she was real pretty. So I'm waiting in that room, and I'm already uncomfortable to begin with because, you know, I'm on the stupid, like, plastic bed, and I'm wearing the paper thing, and I'm freezing, and I'm like, just get in here, fix me up, and then all of a sudden the door opens up, and in walks this 35-year-old, blonde-haired, green-eyed, like, gorgeous, looks like she walked right out of the centerfold of Hottie Dermatologist Monthly. It's a niche magazine, but you should take a look at it. Her turn-ons are long walks at the beach covered in sunblock. And vitamin E cream. But she walks in, and all of a sudden, I turn into... And she's a professional human being who's trying to be a doctor. So she's like, all right, Mr. Baker, great. And it says you have some unexplained rash on your back. And I'm like, no. Not me. I'm all good. And she's like, well, okay, we'll do, okay, well, why'd you come in here? And I'm like, you're so pretty. Do you like being a doctor? Do you like skin? Still itches back there. This was really, this is a real great example. This happened a couple of years ago. I had my 10-year high school reunion, and I was, talking with people, and everyone was married, so it's like I didn't have a problem talking with those girls because it's like there's no chance, so it's fine. And I'm talking with this girl, and because some people might know her, I won't say her real name because I'm back home, and that's the weird thing about telling jokes to people you grew up with. And so I'm talking to this girl, and she's married, whatever. We're just catching up, and she goes, you want to know something funny, Rich? When we were in high school, I kind of had a crush on you. I was kind of hoping you'd ask me out. And I was like, wow, that's amazing because I had the biggest crush on you in high school. And she was like, really? Because you never talked to me. And I go, exactly. I never talked to you. Therefore, I was in love with you. What? If I didn't care, I'd just be like, what's up? I don't get it. And and we were talking about this, and she remembered this incident. We were like, I think sophomores, and it was English class, and she sat right next to me, and I'm like face forward. I don't talk to this girl because that would be, what if she found out? And at one point she nudges me, and she's like, hey Rich, do you have a pen I can borrow? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah. She goes, yeah, my pen ran out. Can I borrow one of yours? I'm like, of course you can. That's so sad that your pen ran out. Just ran out like that? Should have a warning light on a car. So terrible. And I'm like, oh yeah, you can have a pen. Do you want a, I got a brown pen, a black pen, a blue pen, I got multicolored pens, I got a click pen, what kind of, do you want a felt pen? She's like, I don't care, just give me a pen. I'm like, okay, you're so cool. You don't even care what kind of pen you have, you're just a rebel. It's a miracle when I get a girl through this. I did for a very brief time last year, I dated a girl, and she was, speaking of high school, she was actually a high school English teacher, and as part of that, she also coached the women's water polo team at her high school. And I was trying to be a good boyfriend, so I was like, okay, hey, I've never seen a women's water polo match, why don't I come and support you, watch you coach your game? And we both thought this was a fine idea, because we both didn't see the obvious. So I walk into the stands, and I sit down, me, a single 30-year-old man. And around me are parents. Makes sense. High school kids. And me. And it didn't dawn on me at first. I'm looking at people are kind of staring at me, and I'm like, what is there? On my face? What is it? I'm the pedophile. Got it. And now I get nervous, which, gee, Rich, that's so unlike you, you're so smooth. But no, it really happened, I got nervous. And I didn't know what to do. I was trying to cover it up. So I'm like, hi, how's it going? I'm like, oh, don't worry, my girlfriend's down there. And I go, never saw her again. I don't know who won, I just left. Weird phenomenon, speaking of dating, shortly after that girl, I met another girl who was really nice, and I went out on one date with her, and it didn't work out, but not because I'm a colossal failure with women. It didn't work out, it didn't even get to that point, because her name was Linda. Now, if you're not laughing, it's because you don't know that my mom's first name is Linda. I don't know if you've ever had the experience of dating someone who had the same name as one of your parents. I can't handle it. Not man enough. Like, we're on a date and she's pretty and nice and like she, said her name and I'm like, okay. Well. I'm like, Linda. Like, I can't do it. I can't do it. She was probably so confused. Should have explained myself. She spelled it with a Y. It didn't matter. Homonym. It still counts. I don't care how you spell it. I'm calling you the same name that people call my mom. We're done. I did take a girl out the other night with chloroform. She's resting comfortably in my basement. When she gets off this high and mighty attitude and agrees to go on a date with me, that's when she can get untied. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I do have game. I have total game. I mean, not the regular game. Like, not the game you're probably familiar with. Not where the guy just walks up in a bar and just talks to a strange girl and gets her phone number. That's creepy. That's weird. I have my own game. A little different. See, what I do is I befriend a girl, and then I wait. 2, 5, 10 years. And I just wait after boyfriend and heartbreak and near-death experience and pet running away and a weird changing of religions, and I just keep waiting through all that until she's lost all faith and hope in humanity. That's when I swoop in, much like a vulture. They married, but they moved on to their second wives, which is really, that's nice. You gotta progress in life. But a lot of, like Andrew, like he has a kid. That's so weird. A lot of my friends have kids, and I'm like, I still feel like a kid. But I do think it's kind of odd, the phenomenon of kids, in that when someone says, hey, we're having a kid, what's the first thing you ask? Oh, is it gonna be a boy or a girl? It doesn't matter what the answer is. I guarantee you the next words out of their mouth are, oh. Right? Like, it doesn't like, it's like, are you have a boy or a girl? Oh, it's a boy. Oh, boy. Oh, it's a girl. Oh, a girl. I dare you, the next time one of your friends says they're gonna have a kid, be like, boy or a girl? It's a boy. Shame, shame, shame. Sad. You're being punished. You did something bad earlier in your life. Sorry. You should try harder. It's the same thing with due dates. Like, when are you due? August. Oh, the devil's month. Okay. Good luck. And I'd like to do an impression for you now. And I don't really normally consider myself an impressionist, but I came up with this impression, and so I'd like to share it with you. And this is my impression of a white guy who's doing an impression of a black guy. I wouldn't do an impression of a black guy, that would be offensive. So, and the black guy this white guy's impersonating is also a stand-up comic at an open mic for the very first time in his life trying new material. So here we go. Okay. Oh, man. Man. You know white dudes, man? White dudes always carrying pens, man. What's a white dude need with all them pens, man? White dudes always carrying pens, man. What do you need all them pens for, man? You need a pen? Yeah, that's a white dude, man. That white dude got a pen on him, man. Just ask him, he'll pull it out. White dude, man. Can pens. White dude would be like, excuse me, sir, do you need a writing utensil? Click. White dude, man. White dudes and they pins. White dude. Yeah, that's my impression. Dumbest joke I've ever told. I don't care, I love it. So I've been able to travel a lot, which has been awesome. And in Alaska, if you've never been, in certain towns in Alaska, you will see signs all over the place that say, "Yield to bears." They could have saved themselves some money on signage. Because, I don't know about you, I'm gonna go ahead and yield to that bear. I'm gonna walk across the street to avoid the homeless guy. I think I'm gonna get out of the way of a bear. I can't even imagine the guy that made that sign necessary arguing with a bear at a crosswalk like, "Excuse me, sir. I was going this way." Fair enough. It's the dumbest sign. Why would they have that? It'd be like if in Hawaii they had a sign that said, "Don't eat the lava." Don't eat this. I brought a spoon. Such a dumb sign. I love to reminisce. Who here remembers Blockbuster? Anyone fans of Blockbuster here? Yeah, you don't remember it, do you? What was that? What is he talking about? It was crazy. They're gone. I think there's like 4 left in the world. Blockbuster defined my adolescence. I miss it. It's crazy. Like, growing up, me and my friends, we didn't just go get a movie. We had a night out. Blockbuster was the destination. You know, it's like, nowadays you get your movies straight to your TV, Netflix, Apple TV. It's like, no man, you missed out, kids, all right? If you're 5 or younger, you don't even know the kind of fun we had. Blockbuster was this cool, you spent more time going to retrieve the movie than you spent watching the movie. And Blockbusters, it was such a weird place, you know, it had like metal detectors, and there was one entrance, and then a separate one-way exit. It was kind of like a prison. And me and my friends, it was awesome. We'd road trip it to Blockbuster. And be like, all right, you guys start in the A's, and we're going to start in the Z's. We're going to meet in the middle. We're all going to have like a stack of movies with us. We're going to find out what we're going to watch tonight. All right. And it was awesome, and it was fun. I was like, oh, I've seen this before. It was like, you know, it was a party time. I mean, imagine the people in front of those Redbox machines now, and they're just like, get out of my way. I want to get my movie and go. It's like, back in Blockbuster, we were having a party or meet strangers in the aisle. Like, oh, you seen this? High five. Boom. And then, like, you remember they had that new release wall that was the entire perimeter of Blockbuster, and a movie would stay on that wall for 1.5 years. So it's still a new release. And they always had like 1,000 copies of those, which, but if you wanted the older movies, like, that were in the middle of the store, and it was weird to me when I would, like, go to get a movie and they'd be out. And I'd pick up a case and there wouldn't be like a tape behind it. And I go, who else in this town is trying to watch Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo? An awesome person. I always thought that the thing Blockbuster missed out on their marketing campaign was that if you rented a movie that only had 1 copy, that you should leave your address with the clerk. So that way, if I went and said, hey, is this movie in? No, but if you go here, they'll be watching it at 8 o'clock. Like, hey guys, movie night, right? It's been awesome. And it's sad because at one point, Blockbuster was one of the biggest corporations in the entire world. And now it's like, it barely exists. I think the CEO of Blockbuster probably looked at his business like same way that I look at my hair. Like in the mid-90s, like this thing's gonna last forever. And then like, early in the 2000s, things started to get a little thinner, but it's okay, everything's fine. It's just not what it was. And then they tried that whole no late fees at Blockbuster to like, you know, get their customers back, which worked exactly as well as my Rogaine. And then now it's just a distant memory. I'm such a child. Like Blockbusters, I miss a lot of things about the '90s. Because you know that's when I was a teenager. That's when things meant to me. But it shows up in my daily life a lot. I was at a restaurant the other day, and I was with someone, and he ordered tea, and the waitress turned to me and she said, "Would you like tea too?" And all I could think of was tea to Judgment Day. Come with me if you want to live. And I got happy. Turns out she meant tea also. And that was never a Terminator. They never made a tea also. I was the lame Terminator. I'm the tea also. Bang, bang. So the waitress got mad at me and she walked away, and I said, "She'll be back." Another thing I miss about the '90s a lot was movie phone. That's one you hadn't thought of in a while. Remember this? 444? Film! F-I-L-M. That was great. Yeah! That thing still exists, by the way. I called it this morning just to make sure. And my smartphone was even stopped me. It was like, "Are you sure you want to call this?" Because I can get all that information a lot faster. And I'm like, "Don't tell me what to do, smartphone." Well, now tell me what to do because I need directions. But don't tell me what to do unless I tell you to tell me what to do. Smartphone. I called it, and it's still like, and I thought maybe that it was like, what if they just paid the phone bill through like 2020, but it was still the same recording from 1999. Welcome to Movie Phone. New release is The Matrix. That sounds pretty good. But no, it still exists, and I'm like, who would use this now except like 80-year-olds? I'm like, welcome to Movie Phone, brought to you by Metamucil. And Depends. Having a lazy day? Depend on Depends. My friend, his kid is 10 years old, and I don't know why I was talking about this with him, but I was trying to explain to him what Movie Phone was, and I felt very old. And he's like, "Well, why would you call that number?" And I said, "You call it because it tells you, like, where the theaters are, what movies are, what times they play, you can even buy tickets over the phone." And he's like, "Well, why didn't you just use the internet?" And I said, "The internet didn't exist back then." And I'm not making this up. He looks at me with these innocent eyes and he goes, "Then how did you check Facebook?" Going to see Chumbawamba tonight. Oh, a carrier pigeon. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, it's a picture of a kitten. Oh. Thanks, Mom. Then I grab the pigeon and I throw it at some pigs. And I was... The one-man applause break, I'll take it. You don't know what Angry Birds is. I could tell the bird was angry because when I threw it, it tweeted. And I follow it. And I talk about all these things from the 90s because I'm not old, I'm 30, but I'm older. And I can tell because little things have changed, other than just the hair. I do miss that, but you know, it's like I'm lame now. And I'm not saying I was cool. Don't get me wrong. I was never cool, but I was cooler. And the way I can tell is because when I was in college, I never had a conversation about the weather. That didn't happen. You know why? Because in college it didn't matter what the weather was. Because life was awesome. Like, there was fun. There was a million friends around at all given times. There were girls everywhere. And I wasn't any better with the ladies back then, but I mean, you walk around an orchard, you're bound to get hit by an apple. You know what I'm saying? Law of averages. And it was fun. There was like an ultimate frisbee game would just happen. And you'd be like in the middle of it. You're like, ultimate! And then there's like road trips leaving from New Mexico like every 10 minutes for no reason. Just good. And like back then, like, you know, if it was a rainy day, fine. We're still gonna be great. But now, got a little older. I don't have as many friends around anymore. All of a sudden, a rainy day is a huge news event in my life. Run into a guy, I'm like, oh, it's gonna rain today. Oh, I heard that. Oh, yeah, let's talk about it for 20 minutes. This is bad, and if you haven't been guilty of this, you know, kudos to you. But the other day, I found myself talking with a friend about doing my taxes. Not at an H&R Block, at a bar, where there's music and people having fun. And we're talking about doing our taxes. I'm gonna itemize this, and I got a thing in my house that's I consider it a deductible. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up! So lame. The most boring job in the world, an accountant. Why? Because they do taxes. Sorry, Mom. She used to be an accountant. It's okay. It's so lame. No, it's so sad. Don't cry for me. I'm already dead. I had a thought the other day, if horses were elected to city council, nothing would ever get passed. All in favor? All opposed? We didn't see that one coming. I guess we're not bringing Hall & Oates to town. That half passed. I've never done this joke in front of my dad before, but here it goes. Man, my dad, I love my dad, but you know, we're the typical, you know, we're a father-son relationship, which means we don't talk well together. And so, you know, I live in Chicago now, and I've been there for quite some time, so I try and call home on a fairly regular basis. And 9 times out of 10, my mom answers the phone, she does most of the talking, I do most of the listening, that's how I like it. But every once in a while, my dad will answer the phone. And I don't know how to describe it other than, have you ever been driving your car and you went over a speed bump that you didn't see coming? What the heck was that? Hello? Oh, hey, Dad! Where to? And it's like, and we both know, if he just said, hey, you want to talk to your mom and hand her the phone? Or if I just said, hey, is Mom there, and he handed her the phone? That would be fine. We'd both be fine with that. We don't take it personally, but instead we both think it's kind of rude, so we kind of enter this non-verbal agreement that we're going to have the worst display of English language conversation that's ever taken place. It's like, hey, how are you? Good. How are you? Good. Good. Still retired? Yeah. Still in Chicago? Yeah. Mother? Yeah, I and it's not, it's not just us. It's like sons typically have a hard time talking to their dads. It's just how it is. We're men. We don't know how to talk to each other. And since I don't know how to talk to girls, I'm really screwed. I wonder if this, spanned time. Like, Jesus was the Son of God, but maybe he even had a hard time with that. Like, he starts to pray and he's like, "Dear Dad, what's up?" "How are you?" I'm good, how are you?" "Good." "How's heaven?" "It's, I need to clean it. I've been lazy on the cleaning duties." "Oh, that's cool." "You want to talk to the Virgin Mother?" "Yeah, I do!" I love being a comedian. I've had the fortune to get paid to do comedy for a little over 4 years now, and it's been awesome. But I know that as much fun as I'm having, that I've chosen a career that is not the most important on the social ladder. And I'm okay, it's okay, I'm okay with it. But it's like, and I can tell, and it's like if the world was exploding and the rocket ships that were going to take us to some planet and we would continue our species, if that was happening, they're going to take the doctors and the lawyers and the scientists and the inventors, and then the next group would be like the Burger King employees, and high school women's water polo coaches, and the horses that make up city council. But they'd even refuse to get on, now that I think about it. Sucks for them. But comedians, way down on the list. I'd be in line, I'd get to the guy who's guarding the door, and he'd be like, "What do you do?" And I go, "Well, funny you should ask. I sit at my room alone and write down things that I tell to people at nightclubs, and I hope it's funny." "Go ahead and step out of line, sir." "Okie dokie." All right. And I had this realization about a year ago. I was on an airplane, we'd just taken off, and the captain comes on, and he says, "Attention passengers, is there a doctor on board? If there's a doctor, go ahead and ring your call button. Need a doctor." And I was like, wow, that's pretty intense. I guess someone needs medical attention. And then it dawned on me, here's something that will never happen in my lifetime. "Attention passengers, do we have a comedian on board?" "You're a comedian, go ahead and ring your call button. Co-pilot has a serious case of the frowny face." Ding! Someone needs to laugh. One of the things that I've done before and I do sometimes is I'm also a tour guide in Chicago. And if you've ever taken a tour anywhere, and I mean anywhere in the world, you've been lied to. I don't know if you know that. I don't want to be the magician that gives away the secrets, but we make a lot of stuff up. And it's not that we don't know the facts. We do. We just do a lot of tours and we get really bored. So we just start making up stuff to make ourselves entertained. And but the problem is now that there's iPhones in the world, people look that stuff up while you're giving the tour. So now I just make up the most ridiculous stuff that you couldn't possibly verify or deny, and I go, "I'm in Chicago." I say, "Oh, right over here on this street corner, that's where Al Capone got into a fight with RoboCop." Try to fact check that. I'm just kidding, it was the Terminator. It was the T also. Boom, boom, boom. Al Capone won that one. Being in Chicago, anyone here familiar with Chicago? Been there? People? Yeah. I It's a good town. I've lived there for 7 years, and it's like any other big city. There's parts that are good and parts that are bad, you know, and all kinds of stuff. But so a couple of years ago, a friend of mine drops me off at the edge of the Green Line at 1 o'clock in the morning. Now, if you're familiar with Chicago, you're like curious as to how I'm alive, and this is the first time Mom's hearing this story. But so we have all this public transportation, all these trains, and they're by colors, and the Green Line goes from downtown Chicago due west, all the way to the edge where there's this suburb called Oak Park. And I was hanging out with my friend in the western suburbs. He lived in Oak Park, so he didn't want to drive me all the way into the city. So he said, can I just drop you at the train and you take the train home? And I said, that's fine. Not thinking that it was 1 o'clock in the morning. And the Green Line has Oak Park at this end, which is a nice suburb, and downtown Chicago at this end, which is a nice place, you know, it's safe. And then everywhere in between are the worst neighborhoods in the Midwest. I mean, they're the most dangerous things anywhere. And I get on the Green Line and I don't even think about it until I'm like on it and I go, oh crap, this could be the day that I die. Okay, you know what? I'm being paranoid. It is gonna be fine. So I get on the train, I'm in a car all to myself, I'm like, look, no one's here, no problem. Very next stop. 10, how shall I put it, big scary black guys get on. And it didn't matter that they were 10 scary black guys. They could have been 10 Girl Scouts. Anyone who's comfortable riding the Green Line at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm scared of. So I'm just gonna put that out there. And I'm sitting on this side, and they're kind of over here, and I'm like, why would they care about me? Why would they even mess with me? So I just kind of keep to myself, I'm right here, and like within seconds, I hear someone go, hey man, what you doing on this train? Maybe he's not talking to me. Could happen. So I'm sitting, and I've got my head, I'm staring a hole at the floor. And I'm down like this, like, oh, I'm sorry, am I reminding you of the money you lost in Blockbuster stock? I'm sorry. I can't hide it, folks, it's right there. So I'm staring at the floor, and I'm like, if I ignore him, maybe he just will let it go, and that'll be that. And then I see shoes enter my field of vision, and he repeats, hey man, what you doing on this train? And I thought, what are the odds he wants to borrow a pen? Now, if you're familiar with biology, all mammals have a fight or flight thing going on. When we feel like threatened, our nerves go fight or flight. And I'm not gonna fight 10 black guys. I'm not gonna fight anyone, let's be honest. I'm a comedian, I don't know how to throw a punch. But I'm not gonna fly anywhere, because I'm in a small enclosed train. And if I get off that train, then I'm just in the bad neighborhood. So I didn't think that would up my chances. So I'm panicking to myself, and I think, okay, Rich, what are your options? What do we have? What weapons do we have at our disposal? And I said, I'm an actor. So I proceeded to feign acting retarded. Proud of it. What you doing on this train? My dog's name is Lollipop. Trains go choo-choo. And he looks back at his friends and goes, oh, hell no. Here's the kicker. really nice guys, and they all gathered around me and they go, "Oh man, you shouldn't be on this train by yourself." And then they very nicely volunteered to escort me all the way down the green line to make sure I was safe. So now I'm the racist who's acting retarded. Guys, thank you very much. My name is Rich Baker. That's my time.
To us both. If you want to hang out with your boy Rich, we're going to be at Flying Saucer in a little bit, as long as it takes to walk over there. I'm not good with street names here. Everybody knows where the Flying Saucer is, right? Familiar? Okay, cool. That's where we're going. Thank you very much, everybody. Good night.